But getting to the actual the next part, the next phase for this team, Jason Tatum, Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr doesn't play Tatum in that first game, that first group game, and he's kind of like saying like, "Hey, we've got this like abundance of wealth. We have so many other guys. You know, it's not intentional. Like, I'm trying to spot like which guys to play, and I do think there are points where you're going to have that where certain guys don't get that playing time. But with that situation, and obviously, you know, continue on with what you thought about this team. What did you think about that, and also how this team can continue to play out?
Man, and was talking about LeBron James being in killer instinct mode. Bam is being let loose because with the Miami Heat, he's not able to play. It's a lot of guys who can attest how good Bam is when he's let loose, let him play his game. We see he's the lead scorer of a team full of dogs, bro. But I'm starting to realize more and more. It's a bunch of ex-players and podcast people I've been listening to. The more and more I analyze Steve Kerr is outdated. As a coach. He's outdated. What he said with Anthony Edwards, I did not like. What he said to Jason Tatum, that wasn't a good enough reason. Jason Tatum is probably the top 3 player on this squad. Just saying. Yeah. With Bam, with Bron, with Steph Curry, with KD, Jason Tatum is one of those guys. You find a way. He could be put in any lineup and still flourish. Because one, Jason's gonna play. He's gonna play defense, and then you could put him on the wing. You could put him at point. You could put him at 4 if you need to. He can play. Like, that's not a good excuse. I feel like he's outdated, and his system is not working. And we're seeing that because it's an outdated system. The game has grown since Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green and all those plays. It's grown since then. And KD, it's grown since then. So I feel like Steve Kerr as a head coach is outdated. His system is outdated. His coaching is outdated. Why do you not have Jason Tatum in the lineup? I get Halliburton. I do. I get that. I mean, Halliburton is a good player.
Yeah, but against with this echelon of players, it's just kind of like you're going to fall by the wayside. There's certain guys that are just going to be able to fall by the wayside. But Tatum, though, he's got to get playing time. He has to get playing time.
What? Got to get playing time. There's no lineup he can't be in. There's no excuse as a head coach. And you're stewarding, again, this word, we love using this word because that's what you're doing with these players, even as grown men. You're stewarding their talent. Jason Tatum could have stayed at home. Jason Tatum could have had his feet up.
Honestly, Tatum's like, yo, I just won a championship. I mean, I got the monkey off my back, and I'm just not getting any playing time. I'm looking like I'm becoming a meme on the internet. Like, it's insane.
It's crazy, bro. Now, how this is going to play out, there's nobody beating them. I feel like nobody's going to beat them. LeBron is the deciding factor. LeBron James, everybody feeds off, and this is what I love about his leadership. Players feed off his energy. When Kobe was in the Olympics, when he said what he's going to do to Paul Gasol, they fed off that energy. Like, bro, Paul, your guy. You're not going to do that to Paul. He's like, watch me. Ran through his chest. They feeding off, he has that Mamba mentality, and they're feeding off that energy, and he had it clicking on. When they played against Canada, he didn't have it. When they had a couple of runs, they almost lost to the JV team. He didn't have it yet. He had to click it on.
Yeah.
When he clicks on, you see this team is totally different. They come back and beat a team. Then they handle South Sudan with ease. Like, I don't see anybody. I think they're got over that hump of who we going to be as a Team USA. Which Team USA we going to be? We're going to be the dream team. We're going to be, which one we're going to be? Which one's going to come out? But Steve Kerr, as a coach, which I didn't like him being the head coach, has to figure out how to play all these guys and get a lineup that works for everybody.
That was an interesting selection. The fact that they picked Steve Kerr to be the guy. I would have
called Darvin Ham.
Bro, that's crazy.
Yeah, bro,
hey, Darvin, I mean, you brought AD. I mean, you guys have a good history, right?
Oh my
had a good
goodness.
first round exit.
Nah, that's crazy work, bro. That's funny. Funny.
Getting into our next topic with Simone Biles, though, she makes history becoming the first American gymnast to win twice. And it's one of those things, man. Like the whole redemption story arc with what they mentioned, and just kind of like how that was kind of like being reiterated so many times. She said, I really didn't even think that I would even get on the podium. I went out there and just told myself not to put any pressure on myself because I didn't want to think about the past Olympics. And that obviously, when you have to think about the past and what happened in, I believe it was Tokyo, it's one of those things where it can kind of just get ingrained in your head, and you can kind of become frozen with it. But she was able to overcome it. Obviously, Suni Lee, she had a bronze performance as well. To you, like
Yeah.
looking at what they did and what Simone Biles has overcome, and also Suni Lee, like what were your thoughts on the gymnast team and just what they were able to accomplish?
Man, she has to be the best gymnast ever.
Yeah,
There's no one close. And the fact that they were going against her, even people in the United States. But what else is new? What else is new, man? I love her grit. I love her ability to just kill the noise and just go out and do what she's God-given talent to do. Like God-given talent to be a gymnast. Bro, she is so good. She doesn't crack under pressure. There's so many things about her that I admire as a competitor. A lot of people don't know gymnastics is not easy. Like if you don't know, bro, just watch gymnastics. And then a lot of people are naive to gymnastics because why are they doing the same routine? Huh? A lot of people don't know that, Wellington.
yeah, that is true.
A lot of people don't know why they do the same routine over and over. It's the same thing why the football players run the same plays. Why the basketball still runs 1-3-1, 2-3 zone. Like, bro, that's the dumbest thing ever. But anywho, but what Simone Biles has done, bro, in this day and age, and just cut out the noise and never quit, bro, you can't teach that.
No,
And I hope there's young people, not just girls, young boys, young athletes who think gymnastics is just a girl sport, bro. You can go the distance in gymnastics,
for sure.
obviously. Yeah, man. So her story, what she's accomplished, man, second to none, bro. Second to none. I was watching like I was her big brother. Bro. I was like, man, that's so exciting to be able to go on the stage. And shout out to her husband, who was on the Green Bay Packers last year,
Yeah,
now with
I was just
the
waiting for you to say
Bears.
it. I was waiting for you to say it.
I wonder if she's going. Well, not all celebrities or people in the media change their names because it's Jonathan Owens and her name's still Simone Biles. I'm not taking your name.
I'm not taking
It
it.
is crazy.
Doing that.
Side note, he talking about I didn't know who she was. But you crazy out your head, you
That
know who
okay,
she is.
I'm so glad you mentioned that. We don't buy that at all. We don't buy that at all. He was like, I mean, I didn't even know that
What
was
are you at
her.
a rock?
He's living the Kendrick life. No cell phone
Man.
for like. I
In
went
New
days.
York.
I went days without a phone. No cellular device.
Oh my goodness.
But I love how Simone Biles made the caption "lack of talent, lazy Olympic
Yes.
champions." I love that because I'm like, hey, go
Yes.
at them, go at them.
Talk your talk.
They're coming at you, making these just wild claims, and you guys know the work you put in. And she was able to just respond with not just um the caption, but also just getting it done, actually getting it done on the stage, on the biggest stage, and it's just that's special, and that's what the Olympics is about. The Olympics,
Yes.
it's a lot of redemption. We
Mm-hmm.
even saw Sha'Carri Richardson earlier today. I mean, it's a lot of like redemption arcs. You know what
I'm
I
so
mean? And I
glad you
think that
said
that is
that.
just so special
I'm
to
so
see.
glad you said that. I'm so glad you said that, bro. You got to wait 4 years to redeem yourself. 4.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
4. And I'm so glad you mentioned Sha'Carri. Don't jump on the bandwagon now. There was a lot of people with some, she did this, blah, 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 like tearing her down. And she's young.
Yeah.
When she was running, she was a freshman at LSU. 19 years old. Still a young adult girl. And y'all bashing her like this. But now she's back. She's beating everybody. and now y'all on her bandwagon. Keep the same energy.
Look,
I do. We do it.
oh yeah, yeah.
We definitely do it.
When it's time for us to give the just due for a player or a team, we got to do it. You know, we got to be honest with it.
Absolutely. We don't be like, nah, I was no, eat that crow. We got to do it. I've done it plenty of times. Wellington's done it with not the Celtics, with the Mavericks. I've done it with OKC. I've done it with
I could go in a time machine and not be so dumb. So
man, listen.
I scared on that. I was like, yo, Mavericks
yeah, you were. I asked you several times. You was like, yeah, of course, yeah. I was like, all right, you sticking with your guns, but you kept that same energy. It was like, yeah, I was wrong. But that's what it takes, bro. If you're in the media or you're a spectator, keep that same energy. Don't forget that you bashed her and then root for her. Now, self-reflect, like, dang, I should never did that. Now I'm about to go heavy for her. Anywho, I'm off my soapbox for the day.
But you got, I mean, it's so true though. It's very true that we have to be honest about when an athlete is able to make the return, and honestly, yes, their age cue, like you said, how young she was, a freshman. I mean, when certain things happen, we just assume that, oh man, like they should have known better. But I mean, yes, they should have known better. But look how young they are. Look at the spotlight.
Yes.
Look at what they're in, and that is not something to just like downplay. You have to acknowledge that.
And she's human.
Yeah.
They make mistakes. I know we're getting off, but even when we talked about Patrick Mahomes going crazy after the ref, throwing the football, all that stuff, never done that before. But outside his character, but people were bashing him like crazy.
Yeah.
Forgetting that he's human. 1, 2, he's a competitor. And 3, he's human. That he's able to make the same mistakes that you do at your son's Little League football game at 8 in the morning.
Oh, man. Didn't even have the coffee. Didn't even have the coffee set. Didn't have the coffee maker.
Ref cheating. Blah, cussing. You want to go get your gun. Like, bro, it's 8 a.m., bro.
I mean, but see, that's when like those people really need. They should have played the song that this guy I know. I'm only human. I know the stakes. Come on, like I know the stakes.
That's why you're on the payroll. That's why you're on the payroll. Yes, indeed, yo.
Listeners, brother. that is inside baseball. That is that is very undercover.
That's good. That's good. Wellington's on Earth, y'all. Wellington's on Earth. He's on it today.
But before I get to that, are there any other Olympic sports or just any? I mean, Katie Ledecky, obviously, another athlete. That's
swimming, right?
Yeah, swimming.
Yes. I was going to mention that.
Yeah. Any other ones that have kind of stood out to you?
I don't want to get us canceled.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
About the boxing and the cisgender thing, and yeah, I didn't like that. I was mad. I was so mad. I'm not gonna hold you, but I'm not gonna get into that because
I know what you mean. That was
what. But I've been low key. I've been trying to get interest in the flag football part of it. Has it started? I don't know if it started.
I don't think it started.
Yeah, because if we were in it, if it over with, who holding Tyreek?
Oh, get out of here,
bro. That's easy touchdown. But no, I was mostly gymnastics. Obviously, baseball, basketball, swimming. What else? I actually watched fencing. Okay. Man, Buddy won on a wild finish. He was jumping up, and then he did I don't know the perfect terminology or the actual wording of fencing, but he did a maneuver where he and then he did something. I was like, bro, do you know how athletic you got to be in fencing, bro? It's quick.
It makes me think of that one line, which I mean I think every guy has been through. Of a great rapper once said, "Our texts feel like a fencing match."
That's tough. Wellington.
No, I'm sorry.
Do I need to come back?
I'm
Do I
sorry.
need to come down with you, bro? You're
I'm
on
sure.
it, bro. Your references today is like you had Starbucks today.
I did. I did. I did. See, why
My
is it all? Why is
favorite
that?
line, bro. My favorite
That
line,
line, I go back to that clip every now and then when I just need to see something entertaining.
bro. I was so proud of you, bro. That's like the first time you really like. I could tell how agitated. Like he was like, bro. I was like, oh, let me go ahead, Wellington. Did
I
you?
have been in so
Did you
many
have coffee today?
text chains and
Man,
debates about that. I was just like, okay, I gotta say it on the mic now. I gotta officially say it on the mic.
yes, and you all facts, all facts. But anywho, that's my favorite moment. We've been doing this for a long time, Wellington.
Wow,
That's probably my favorite moment.
that's your top one.
Oh, that's top 5 for real, bro. Since we've been doing this, you have never done that.
That is true. Hey, there's been an evolution to this podcast. Listen, if you go back to some of the early ones, it never was like I never did an ISO. I never did an ISO take.
No,
That was fully an ISO take.
I had to say nothing. I literally was like, yes, Starbucks, yeah, it was, bro, it was beautiful. Anywho, yeah, that was beautiful.
But going on to kind of thoughts and expectations for the Texans and TJ Stroud. Obviously they're coming into this season really like overcoming just expectations from last year because I don't think many people expected them to go as far as they did. Obviously losing to
No,
Baltimore in the divisional round, but looking up this year and sometimes there can be a sophomore slump with quarterbacks. And TJ Stroud, I know he's gonna even want to go further than he did last year. The system that D'Amico Ryan has set and just kind of established with them is one that's very like, it's got a formula. It's got the right formula to be efficient, to be able to compete for AFC championships and possibly get to a Super Bowl. But what do you kind of see from this team this particular year and what they can do going forward to even get further?
So I'm so glad that you said about the sophomore slump because that is extremely real.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot of quarterbacks over the years have a great rookie season or a good rookie season and then get into that slump. Now you're known. Now defensive coordinators are aware of you. We know your strength. We know your weaknesses. We know how to exploit them. But what I love about CJ Stroud, he's a student of the game early. And I think that's the difference. The difference for a lot of quarterbacks. They study film. I've watched even sometimes Michael Parsons get on my nerves, but when they went on the run where they were on his podcast, on shows, watching the draft, I literally just sat there and listened to CJ Stroud just be a student of the game and knowing different things about players. That's studying film. That's logging in the hours. As I won't call myself a scout, but I was training to be a NFL football scout. That's what you love to hear from a player. A rookie talking like this and knowing different things about players, I love it. So he's ahead of the curve, and I think they got him pieces. Stephon Diggs, the running game is going to be back. Damian Pierce is there.
Yeah.
They got a couple other guys with the running game. You still got the big wide receivers on the outside. Dale will be back. Oh my goodness, he was hurt last year. So the offensive line got better the second half of the season. And you can see the difference when he was able to throw the football. The blocking was better, so he can see down the field. He can then we just got an update from some ESPN because they're so graceful enough to give us some updates. While
We appreciate it. We appreciate it.
But man, I don't foresee a slump for him because he's ahead of the game. He's a student of the game. The offensive line is better. The running game will be strong, and that helps quarterbacks, especially in the sophomore slump or getting out of the sophomore slump. But man, they have a lot of pieces, and what they were able to do in the first year. Head coach and D'Amico Ryans, I think it can't go unnoticed. A lot of people counted him out, like you said. But CJ Stroud, I don't foresee him going into the sophomore slump. It's going to be good. The AFC is going to be it's tougher this year for sure.
And that's the thing. I like. There are some quarterbacks where it feels as though it's going to happen, that it's going to that sophomore slump is going to come for them. But CJ Stroud, you don't get any signs or any like signals that it's going to be that way. It really feels as though it's going to be one of those things where he's like just really locked in. Just full on blinders to anything, any outside noise, and not really kind of falling for the bait of like believing his own hype. I know he believes he's really good, but I don't think it's one of those things where he's just like almost kind of feeding into the press and what things are
Right.
and what's said about him. Because man, he was that first half against Baltimore. I know the second half Baltimore, took it away, but that first half
Yeah.
they were right there with him, and Baltimore just was too much. But getting into Justin Herbert, the news about his the plantar fascia injury,
Yeah.
it was just announced yesterday that Herbert was diagnosed with this following Wednesday's practice, but will be ready for Week 1. And I mean, he's essential to a lot of what they do, obviously, and they did say he's going to be ready for Week 1, but we've said so many times about this team that I mean they are really in the precipice of like, is it Herbert or is it the coach? Is Justin Herbert is Justin Herbert the issue for their lack of success, or is it just a coaching thing? And now they get Harbaugh, and obviously he's coming off of a national championship in college with Michigan, but it's really one of those like prove it years for Herbert, because now you kind of have you have a really good coach. And it's going to be like a really wait and see type of season for them. But what do you kind of think about this injury for Herbert, and also him coming back Week 1?
So I'm glad you mentioned, because he went through a sophomore slump.
Yes.
He's one of the quarterbacks who went through a sophomore slump.
Yeah.
And when Makai and myself and Mr. Greco in you obviously were on here, we were talking about him, and we got to hold him accountable. I think even before he got hurt last year, he didn't show that the praise that he was getting was worth it.
Right.
And this year, even if that injury does hinder him, it's no excuse. There's zero excuses for Justin Herbert. There's zero tolerance for his lack of ability to lead a football team at one of the most important positions on a team, let alone the offense. There's no excuses. They went out and got you more players. You let one of your best wide receivers go.
Yeah.
You drafted Joe Alt, right? You still got Joey Bosa. You went to go get DJ Shark. You got people to take the top off. You got all these things. There's no more excuses. You went and go and got a fresh coach who just won a national championship, who I wish would have stayed at Michigan. But I understand. There's no excuses. There is no excuses. You go get a bang up J.K. Dobbins. You draft a bunch of other guys. Like you went and spent money on defense. So there's no excuses. And then people say, oh, his defense is not as good, or his offensive line is not as good, or yada, 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 making excuses for him.
Yeah.
I wasn't high on Justin Herbert when he came out of Oregon. I think it was Oregon.
It was Oregon, yeah.
I wasn't big on
we
him.
were like high on it. Well, at least I was high on him, I think, early on in his career, but I don't think like it's panned out. It hasn't really panned out so far. Like,
because you see the difference, the sophomore slump that you mentioned earlier. It's like, okay, he was exciting. Like Josh Rosen.
Oh my!
I knew he was going to get shopped around. Had a decent first season. Second season, blah blah blah. Everybody was giving high praise. Like there's so many like Brock Purdy, first year, let's see this year. How did that get in here? I don't even know. But that was his first full season as quarterback. Did a good job. I mean, I'm not going to say all the other stuff, but he did a good job. This is official sophomore season. Look at another quarterback with the Cincinnati Bengals. When he came back, he hit the sophomore slump.
Yeah.
But he got over it. Justin Herbert hit the sophomore slump, got hurt. There's no excuses for Justin Herbert. Has all the intangibles, has all the tangibles, but there's some things that need to click and ignite for him, for me personally, to say he's an elite quarterback.
Yeah.
I'm on my high horse today, brother.
He's doing it.
I ain't giving everybody the business. Even myself.
Nobody's being held back. Nobody's being held back. He's on his Family Matters second verse flow.
Wellington has went to Mars, ladies and gentlemen. Wellington is referencing things that you will forget about, but but Wellington has a librarian brain and it's just a full catalog of references. Okay.
Too many, man.
Too many. And I get to sit here and witness and hear it all the time. It is so refreshing. I'm telling you. There's another ESPN notification. Let me let me silence these guys. What's going on?
They know when we record. They know. Goodness, man. Everybody's listening.
The fans watching. Yeah.
But getting to the NBA topics. First one that really kind of surprised. Well, I don't know if it was a surprise, but Gordan Hayward, he announced his retirement. And obviously, like, mention the years he's played, the teams he's been with, and it's I feel as though he has one of those careers where more could have been done, but injuries just really got in the way. Like, and those are the type of careers where it's always bittersweet to, like, do an outlook on them and really just kind of like scan through everything that happened, because it could have been more. It really could have been. And I always go back to that Boston season, when when they had the projected 67 wins, and it just, that first game against Cleveland and that injury that he had was just so brutal to even see. I mean, they had to like turn the camera to it. They're like, we can't show this like immediately. But looking back at Gordan Hayward's career, what he was able to do, and obviously what we thought could have been put out more. What are kind of your overall thoughts on it?
Yeah, that was the first thing that popped in my head. The injury, the potential. It's he's one of those guys you just put into the category, man. Like, what could have been, and it's a lot of guys in there: Tracy McGrady, Brandon Roy, Derrick Rose. I mean, Greg Oden, when he first got drafted to the Trailblazers, man, it's so many guys that you just put in this category. Like, man, what if? And Gordan Hayward, when he was with Utah Jazz, and when they let him go, I was like, you're dumb. Dumb. Like, he was such a dog with Utah Jazz. And he went to a situation with the Celtics that was perfect for him. They wanted a guy who ran the offense through him. They're going to have plays for him, and to be the first game of the season. And he never recovered after that. I mean, how can you recover after that? He was never the same. And you just put him in that what if category. And that's sad. And what you say, it's hard to review somebody's career where it was expectations is high, but injuries just brung him down. Man, and it's similar to Kemba Walker. Kemba Walker didn't get hurt, but he was at a team. Lay down, dude. Sorry for all the dogs. He was at a team where he got suffocated. And then it was too late when he went to the Celtics. It was too late when he started getting shopped around. And, you put it in that category as well. What if? He wasn't injured, but you put him in that category. But Gordan Hayward had a ceiling that he was never able to reach for injuries. And he went into the perfect situation with the Celtics. He would have been I think he would have still been really good. And that makes me think, do you still draft Jaylen Brown? Do you still draft Jason Tatum? Do you still have Marcus, like all these other guys that were there?
That's a lot of questions.
Yeah. So if Gordan Hayward's going off, there's no need for a Jason Tatum. I don't think you get him. You don't get a Jaylen Brown. So, I mean, maybe it was meant to be. Oh, that's terrible. We're gonna get killed so Wellington.
I mean, and the thing about it with that Celtics team is they really did go through a trajectory of just so many different iterations. There were so many different iterations of that team. You had the Isaiah Thomas.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean.
Kyrie Irving
getting smacked by Cleveland. Kyrie, obviously. I mean, and then the young Celtics, where it's just like, they pushed the Cavs to 7 back in 2018. It's just so many different Celtics teams where getting to 2024, it was like, okay, they fully matured. And man, was Wellington's Wise Zone took like a crash. It was a stock market crash when I picked against them, man. I was like, but they really did figure it out, and they like put together the pieces, and they had to have a different coach. I mean, do I think Ime Udoka was a really good coach, yes, but
Yes.
there, you have Joe Mazzulla, Mr. The Town himself, had to like
Yes.
really kind of, put in a system and just like a more disciplined approach as well.
Yes.
I think for this particular year after that Miami meltdown, this one was just very disciplined, and it makes you think about, man, the Celtics, they've been through a journey. They've been through like a 7-8 year journey.
I hate to say it, they deserve that championship. And you need a head coach who has no facial expressions. Like
Yeah,
literally,
you do.
he one facial expression he has, he looks lost all the time. When you hear somebody call your name, like
he always has that look, like wait, who's calling? Who's calling me? Joe?
Huh?
Joey?
Like he looks like every time, even in interviews, he be even on the court, like he'll call a play. Like, bro, it's so funny, man. I love watching him coach. It's literally he looks lost all the time. All the time. It's the funniest thing. But you need a coach he's a student of the game. Wasn't the best player at all in college, but be a head coach and get that experience. And I'm hoping JJ Redick looks over and like, okay, let's see what he did, because JJ still ain't coach yet. Oh my goodness, I can't wait for him to just blow up in his face, low key. And it's not hate. It's not hate at all.
He asked for this though. He did ask for this when he decided not to coach. He had all the options in the world to coach Summer League. All the options in the world to coach Summer League. And it's just like, he was just like,
how dare you? How dare you? The audacity to say you don't care about what anybody say and then you don't coach. What are you waiting for? Like, bro, you ain't no 5-star prospect. Oh, I'm not gonna run today. I ain't gonna run the 40. Bro, you hired to be a coach.
Yeah, coach.
You didn't even coach. Like, okay, we've been on that. We said our piece. But I can't wait till it blows him in his face.
And it's going to happen. It's
absolutely.
It's going to happen because, just LeBron and AD are playing in the Olympics right now. And something is going to happen where AD is, and we're not saying that it's going to be injuries, but there might be injuries with AD. We never know.
It might be some wear and tear. You
know what I mean? So it's just that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I mentioned the Olympics, that wear and tear of playing these games. And then,
oh my goodness.
What
we have like 2 months to recover?
Yeah, man.
Because practice October, November?
Oh my goodness. The season's going to be around quick.
Yeah.
It's going to be around quick.
It's August now. Olympics, ends in 2 weeks?
Mm-hmm. And then, we got training camp in September. So just, right back to it.
Can't load management either.
No, not at all.
Good luck, JJ.
Good luck, JJ. This is what you got. And sometimes I go back to those the Mind the Game to the Mind the Game podcast, and I'm like, man, 8 episodes of just strategy for how am I going to get this guy hired, and now it's here. And now it's here. Before we move on, though, we had originally planned it with to talk about the Shakur Stevenson win, and it was interesting. He did have the unanimous decision victory, but it was very tactical in a sense, very tactical. Not flashy. No. And now we're talking about, is he ready for Tank? I still don't think he is. I still think Tank is like a problem for anybody. But
absolutely,
the Lomachenko factor of that wanting to be the next fight Tank was going to be in, but Lomachenko is taking a hiatus for the rest of the year.
Yeah,
things get a little muddied, and now it's like, okay, does Tank want to give Shakur that chance? But I don't think Shakur is ready. What have kind of been your thoughts on that?
I agree. I think one of the things you have to be against Tank is tactical. I'm sorry. Yeah. And technical, actually. You want to be both. You want to not make many mistakes with Tank. But how Tank fights, he's going to invite you in. I think how you beat Tank is you don't feed into his game.
Yeah.
You let Tank attack you. I feel like that's how you beat him. Because Tank is going to pressure for a little bit and see how you handle that. And he's going to see how you counter, what you do, and then he's gonna counter you. He's a counter puncher. Tank can be an aggressor. He has the full ensemble, but he's more so a counter puncher. You see that with a lot of his fights, he's a counter puncher. There's some fights where he takes it to him, but I think how you beat Tank is you play his game against him. Shakur Stevens, I believe, can't do that because I feel like he doesn't have that knockout punch to knock him out. You're gonna have to knock Tank out.
Oh yeah.
You're not gonna. He's technical. He's smart. He has IQ. He's gonna get his points, but he doesn't want to just get his points. He wants to knock you out.
Yeah.
So I haven't seen anybody, including Shakur Stevens, in his weight class that can knock Tank out. I have not seen it. A lot of people said Ron Garcia was going to do it. I did not believe it.
That was such an interesting fight because I think that in that second round, when Tank knocked down Garcia, that's when like everybody was like, okay, man, this is just a different class. This is a completely different class because Tank is that guy. He really is that guy. And I think when as Calvin Ford says, he calculates. He just collects the data. Every round he collects the data, and it's going to be one of those where he might predict 7th or 8th round, but he's going to be like 1 round off usually. Because he's very right about his predictions about when he's going to knock out a fighter. And
absolutely. It's scary.
It's so scary, man. He's such a smart fighter. Such a smart fighter.
Absolutely, bro. I know and then that's watching film and watching the fights too, bro. Yeah. I know a round you get tired in. I know a round you take off. Is. Oh, so you think you're gonna take this round off? Oh, you're gonna take 7th or 8th round off to get your breathers for the later half of the fight. Okay. And I know what you're gonna like, bro. It's all of that. It's just not I'm punching him. Yep. Like I'm watching when you get tired. I'm watching how you react to everything. Mm-hmm. Like, bro, Tank is a surgeon. And he was taught not just by his trainer, but he was under the tutelage of one of the greatest fighters that ever fought. His name is Floyd Pretty Boy Money Mayweather.
And they don't like each other anymore.
Which is crazy, bro.
So wild. I'm like, how can you not like the guy that like literally was your mentor? It's just so weird. It's almost I go and I know we've mentioned so many references, but it's almost like Wayne and Drake like having a beef. I'm like, how can you guys beef? Like, excuse me.
That's bro. Like, how does that make sense, bro?
I gave you your opportunity. like I can't. Like, I wouldn't even feel confident like getting bars off against my mentor.
Bro, I literally wasn't for me. Your name would not be as known.
Yeah,
it would take you longer to be Tank Gervonta Davis, who's a prize fighter. Like, hey man, people grow apart, but I'm sure it's all respect because how can you not respect the guy who gave you your opportunity?
Yeah, there has to be respect.
I know you don't have to like him.
Yeah, I know you can get into the whole like I don't like you, but you still have to be like, hey, yeah, I respect that guy because he gave me everything. The in terms of the limelight, gave me the opportunity to be a part of that.
Right. In my gym, you know how many fighters coming out in and out of that gym who's looking to be tutored and going under the tutelage of one of the greatest fighters ever, one of the greatest counter fighters ever, one of the greatest defensive fighters ever. Mm-hmm. People are killed. People will be standing outside the gym waiting to get in there. Yeah, man.
Yeah, for sure.
That's crazy though. But no, I don't think going back, Shakur Stevens, like you said, I agree. He's not ready for Tank. And Tank knows it.
Yeah. That's why Tank is like, he's not rushing. He's just like, hey, do what you do, but I'm not going to get to a point where I feel like I have to make this fight happen. Lomachenko, though, I'd be intrigued by
That's going to be a good one.
I'd be intrigued by that.
It's going to be a good one.
Very intrigued by that. But Crawford, what were you going to say? I didn't want to cut you off.
No, you're good. I'm glad you said Crawford because I'm excited for this fight. Because he ain't fought in a while. I like watching him fight.
Crawford will be fighting this month. But the interesting thing though, he still says
I thought it was tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow. My bad. Yeah. He's gonna be fighting tomorrow. So
yeah,
bro. But he's still talking about one fight. Is it Canelo? He's still talking about. He says I'm still wanting. That's the one he's saying that he still wants the Canelo fight.
Canelo don't want to fight him. Canelo know he'll lose. Canelo don't want to fight him. Canelo will lose that fight.
And I do want to say, listeners, he is fighting. He is fighting Israeli Madrimov, as Savon was saying, tomorrow. So Crawford's back in the ring. We obviously always like. I mean, in terms of overall skill and technical ability, Crawford's probably. I mean, he's the best. He's got to be the best. I mean, like who else are you gonna put above him?
Bro, I've seen him, and this is. I feel like if they went weight classes, I think Bud can beat Tank, and this is why I say this, because I've seen Bud fight other people's strategy and do it better than them. Because Bud at default is a counter puncher.
Yeah.
But in that fight when he beat my boy, can't even remember his name.
Errol Spence.
Yeah, Errol Spence.
Got bloodied up too much.
He was walking him down.
Yeah.
He wasn't just counting, like he played, because we all know Errol Spence Jr. loves to walk people down, pressure them, and Bud did that with precision. Mm-hmm. I was like, bro, I have never seen Bud fight like this, like no mistakes. I was like, dang, Bud. He was like, that's it? I was like, dang, Bud. Fight back, Errol. Fight back, Errol. I sweated watching that fight. Fight back, Errol. But nah, man, he's one of those guys who can fight another person's style and beat them at it. It's going to be extremely difficult to beat Bud. But it have to be like something going on in his life. Well, that's probably not even it. He probably going to fight even better. Like, I don't see anybody beating him. Like, what sticks out the most when he was like, I'm losing. Came out the next round, knocked him down twice. He's like, okay. I forgot. It was a dude with the braids.
Oh, I know. I
forgot his name. But he was fighting him. They say he was losing a fight. He was like, yeah, you lose about one round. He was like, okay. Went out. Dropped him. I was like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And it's like, man, Bud is that guy, man.
Oh yeah.
Who worked his way up, who didn't have a Money Mayweather. You didn't have none of that.
Gotta think about that, Tank. Gotta think about that. Some
from
fighters,
Nebraska, ain't it? No, Nebraska.
Yeah, I think he is Nebraska. Yeah.
Nebraska. Yeah, I think it is Nebraska. I'm like, I ain't know black people was out there. I'm not gonna hold you. I ain't think we like Nebraska.
I can't lie. Like when I first heard that, I was like, man, that's not where I was expecting him to be from.
I didn't know Nebraska had the hood. Bro, I didn't know that, bro. I didn't go to the hood in Nebraska. They probably got corn in the car. That's crazy, bro. Corn hustlers. We corn hustlers, cuz. That's crazy, man.
Corn the cob.
Oh my goodness, that's funny. That's funny. Okay.
The Crawford Canelo fight would never happen, though. Listeners, it would never happen. There are just some fights that would never happen. That one is, it's up there, bro. Now, I would love to see it. I would love to see it.
Yeah, maybe just on the video game, not in real life. Just on the video game. I wish.
Played the new college football 25 game,
brother. Every day, every day. Well, I got it late. I got it in like end of July, probably like the 27th, and every day since then I've been playing it, man. It's addictive. I'm not gonna lie. That's the only game I play now. Yeah, it's really good. I mean, if Pastor allows to have a game night, I'll bring it.
Please, we need to bring back. We need to bring back game nights. Game nights for
man. I miss game nights, man. Dope. It was so dope, man. Okay,
yeah. We're getting off topic,
like we always do.
Like we always do. We're gonna take a quick break and we'll be right back.